The following BLTV program is brought to you by O'Flaherty Law. Please enjoy.
Welcome to Learn About Law. My name is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law. I hope you find this video and podcast helpful. If you need some help, please feel free to call us at 515-207-2006. We offer free consultations in many areas of law, and we have several geographic locations for your convenience. We serve all of Iowa. We're also happy to meet with you and provide most legal services virtually without requiring you to leave your home. Enjoy the video.
Hello, I'm Gene Nassif, an attorney at O'Flaherty Law. My practice areas include business transactional matters, as well as some landlord-tenant issues, as well as family law. Now, today we're going to talk about wrongful termination laws in Iowa. Have you ever been fired? Do you believe your employer may have terminated you for the wrong reason? Today we're going to discuss Iowa and federal laws and potential recourse for wrongful termination. In Iowa, employees work at will. Generally speaking, this means that the employee can be fired at any time for any reason or no reason at all. However, there are some exceptions to this general rule. If an Iowa employer fires an employee for a discriminatory reason, in violation of an employment contract, or in retaliation for you exercising your rights, you may have a claim against your employer for wrongful termination. First, I want to discuss discrimination. Under federal and Iowa law, it's illegal for an employer to fire an employee based on a protected characteristic. Federal law protects race, color, national origin, sex, pregnancy, religion, age, disability, citizenship status, and genetic information. Federal law covers employers with at least 15 employees for most of these forms of discrimination, 20 employees for age discrimination, and 4 employees for citizenship discrimination. Iowa law also prohibits employment discrimination based on age, race, sex, color, religion, national origin, sex, pregnancy, religion, disability, sexual orientation, and gender identity. This also encompasses wage discrimination. Iowa law covers employers with more than 4 employees, a notably lower threshold than federal. Federal and Iowa law make it illegal for an employer to retaliate against you for exercising your rights. If you believe you have been discriminated against and you go to your employer to make a complaint about it, the employer cannot discipline or fire you for making the complaint. Furthermore, an employer cannot fire you for participating in an investigation of discrimination, which includes testifying in court, or making efforts to remediate the discriminatory practices. Prior to filing a lawsuit, you must file a complaint with the Iowa Civil Rights Commission. In most cases, this agency will record the complaint with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, who enforces federal anti-discrimination law. Next, I want to talk about breach of employment contract. If you have a contract with your employer in Iowa, you are not considered to be an at-will employee. In Iowa, employment contracts may be written, oral, or implied. For oral and written contracts, your employer makes promises not to fire you for a certain period of time without good cause. For implied contracts, your employer acts in a way that creates a reasonable expectation that you will continue to be employed. This often comes in the form of employee handbooks, manuals, and most often they state that employees can't be fired until certain steps are followed. Should your employer terminate you without cause, you may have a claim for breach of contract. Now, let's next talk about wage, hour, and breaks in Iowa. In Iowa, employees are entitled to a minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. Iowa does not have an overtime law, but under federal law, employees who work more than 40 hours a week are entitled to overtime pay. Iowa doesn't have any rules on meal or rest breaks, though federal law requires employees to be paid for any breaks of 20 minutes or less. Iowa does protect employees from being fired for filing wage claims, testifying in wage hearings, or taking action for unpaid wages. Next, I want to address time off and leave in Iowa. Both Iowa and federal law gives employees the rights to take off work for various reasons. In Iowa, the following are protected: voting, jury duty, military leave, family and medical leave under the FMLA, and finally, pregnancy leave. Finally, I want to discuss other Iowa employment claims. In addition to what we've gone over, employees are protected when bringing workers' compensation claims, work safety claims, whistleblowing claims, and refusing to take polygraph tests. I do want to quick mention the coronavirus, pandemic, and wrongful termination. With the COVID-19 pandemic approaching 1 year since its onset, many people have been fired or terminated from their employment. While it's fairly unclear how wrongful termination rules apply to those being fired initially, case law has established some rules for wrongful termination due to the coronavirus. Generally speaking, it's illegal for an employer to fire you in retaliation after you file a complaint for unsafe work conditions, for refusing to work because you have a reasonable belief that you have risk of death or serious harm due to unsafe working conditions, for refusing to violate a government order requiring stay-at-home or shelter-in-place, for taking family or medical leave because you have a pre-existing condition that makes you vulnerable to the coronavirus, and finally because you filed a claim with workers' compensation for benefits due to the coronavirus. Additionally, if you were forced to quit because of any of these things, you may have the grounds to sue for wrongful constructive termination in violation of public policy. You will need to show that the working conditions were so difficult that a reasonable person would be forced to resign. As always, if you have any additional questions, feel free to reach out to our firm. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Hello again, this is Kevin O'Flaherty from O'Flaherty Law. I hope you enjoyed this video and podcast. If you did, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to our channel. If you need legal help in this or any other area of law, please do not hesitate to reach out and schedule a consultation. Most consultations are free and all can be conducted remotely if you'd like. Please email us, book online, or call us at 515-207-2006. We have many locations for your convenience. We serve all of Iowa. Thank you again for watching.